Hello, this is Kat with Ember and Quill. I wanted to go through my Etsy listing of the pockets, flip outs, and more. I have a couple of idea pages to go through, and then we have lots of other pockets and flip outs. But if you'll notice on the pages that it says print double-sided with the background, if you just print on the other side, it'll help with your different flip outs to give them the other side. I just took this, I made this in Canva, so I just went onto Canva and just dropped in some of the Canva elements, pages and things like that. I also wanted to point out that on all of these are also frames that you can drop in your elements or digital paper or anything you want, and it is something that you're going to fold under, so the transparency is set at 50, but it's just to help so that you don't have that white from the page or the color of the page. But let's just look through these really quick and then we'll cut them out. So we have this first idea page. Some of these are 2 pages long. This has an envelope on it, and then a split envelope, and another idea page using one of the envelopes, another idea page using one of the envelopes. This envelope doesn't have that cutout, and I'll show you why when we put it together. And then this is for the library pocket. And then in the Canva file, you'll just have a couple of different basic pockets and frames. This can be a side tuck that you put on the side of the page and tuck in, or you can make them as a belly band. Some circle frames, some torn paper, just some fun frames that you can add your own digital paper or other elements to, and some tags, flags and stamps. I did them all the same color so you can see the differences in the flags. Same with the tickets. You can either split those and cut them as individual tickets or leave them together and have them all together. And then some small file folders in the 3 different tabs and then different directions. Okay, before we get started on the idea pages, I wanted to show you the different types of envelopes that I've made. I made the ones that it's basically a normal envelope. You fold these in, fold this up, and then glue in here, and there's your envelope with your flap that you can attach to the idea page, or you can close over. Then I also have the same kind of thing without the cutout. So you can use it without the cutout if you want. And then I did a split envelope. So if you want the front and back of your envelope to be different colors, different pictures, different papers, whatever, you can do that. So you would just fold those in. I didn't score this one, sorry. And then you can do that. And then if you wanted without the cutout, you could just print 2 of these, and on the second one, just trim this off. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so this first idea page, we're going to use these 3 pieces that's on the page. This is your base page. So I've gone through and I've scored along all of these fold lines on all of them, but I'll show you what I did with one of them. This is where you want the fold to be. So I just scored right down on those. So then you have your base page. If you don't want these flaps, you can just cut them off and then just glue down 2 sides to your page. But I like having that extra little bit of space. So then you have this other flip out that's printed on both sides. I'm going to put it, you can put it wherever you want, down at the bottom, the top, centered, but we're going to just glue it on to that other flap. So it's not gluing down here, that flap fits just on each other really well. And then to close this, that's what the circles are for. So the circles I did print on both sides. What I typically do is I will cut one of the circles in half, and then I will glue on half of it just to give it a little bit of an edge. Go back. And then I just put glue back on this other half. And I'll place this where I want it. And then we'll let that dry, but you can kind of see, if you can put that all the way up, then it gets a little too close and it's hard to open. But that will hold that flap down. Okay, then we can just mount that onto a journal page and it's done. So I just wanted to show you, you could glue it down here and then set it on your journal page, right like that. So then you could make it a tuck spot. Okay, so that's the first one done. Okay, so for this idea page, I'm going to use these pieces. First, we're going to start with the envelope. I'm going to put glue on that side and that side, and then close up the envelope. And I'm going to glue the envelope onto this piece right here with that flap. Okay, so we can put a tuck spot in there. At this point, you need to decide what side of your belly band you want this on. On the back side of this flip out, since you have this, I'm going to cover this with a piece of paper. Okay. So I'm going to have mine come open this way. So I'm going to glue it on this side of the belly band. You could put it again at the bottom, the top, the middle, wherever you want. This side of the tab is where we're going to put the glue. Okay, so then it opens up, and then it can open up all the way this way. And then you would just get your page. I'm not going to glue it down, but you can put glue on this tab, and then glue it down onto your page. Then you have a pass-through right here for a belly band. Okay. For this pocket idea, we're going to use these two pieces. We're going to use that envelope without the cutout. So I'm going to put glue on both of these sides and close up the envelope. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away that edge. Normally I'd use my paper trimmer, but I'll just use my scissors. Just cut away a small portion of this closed envelope. I did forget, it is easier if you do this first. Close off the flap end of the envelope. That way your opening is right here. So that's the opening. Okay. And this is your base page. These are to fold down and go onto the page. So then you decide what side you want your envelope flip out. On this side or on this side. Okay, so then we're going to glue this side of the flap. Whichever side you want it. There you go. I have that tab. Then you would put glue on this tab, and that tab. You can either leave this tab, glue it down like I did right here, and then just put glue there and there. So then you have a tuck spot, or you can glue down that side and then just have another pocket, whichever one you like. Okay, for this idea pocket, we're doing a library pocket. So we have these tabs. We are going to glue down on the top of that one so that you have a pocket right there. I like having those tabs there instead of just gluing it down, because then you get the full width of that library pocket. Then I have these tabs on the back to leave some extra space in here for a tag. So what you're going to do, we're going to go ahead and glue this one down. What you're going to do is put a bead of glue across there on your pockets, and then, so this is going to be a pocket, so this is going to be closed. Okay, so I'm going to put this on my page. Okay, so no glue right here to how far over down you want big your pocket is. So then I have my library pocket here, but then I have another little pocket here. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so those are the 4 idea pockets that I had. I've adapted these from different videos that I've watched over the time. If I can find the original people I watched, I will tag them. But hopefully these make sense. And that you can enjoy using your own digital paper and other elements. Thank you.